Hello, Beatles.
Hey, Bernie, how are you?
Good. How's everything going?
Uh, Freezing to death here.
It's tough it's tough where you live in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, we're getting some warm weather through the week next week, though, so that'll be nice.
Well, that's good. Well, welcome everybody to our YouTube channel. We're going to start a little early, and let me just set up a couple of things here. Make sure all the sound on all these monitors I have are off, so we don't get any feedback. They're all off. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Bernie Strom, along with Beatles Eternally, to broadcast today's game from Fenway Park in Boston. It is July 14th, 1914. The Detroit Tigers are visiting Boston here at Fenway Park. And the lineups are on the screen here. And unfortunately, Ty Cobb is not in the game as I'm looking. But we have Sam Crawford, so that'll be exciting. You know, Beatles, you can do me a favor if you'd like.
What's that, Bernie?
Pick a guy you want to do one of your readings on,
Okay.
and sometime between the fourth and the sixth inning, we'll have you do that if you wouldn't mind.
Absolutely. I'd be very happy to do that.
You know, I did that last time, and I do that usually when you're not on the broadcast. I call it the Beatles reading. But
The Beatles reading.
but since you're on the broadcast, you might as well do it.
Sure. I'd be happy to.
Okay, well, for those people that follow my broadcast, the Red Sox are one game out of first place. Philadelphia A's are in first place. And in 1914, the A's won the American League pennant, beat the Boston Red Sox by 8.5 games. And the purpose of my replay is to see if I can dethrone the Philadelphia A's as 1914 American League champions and win the American League pennant. For most of the season, the Red Sox were in first place, but Philly, a very talented team, has been on a winning streak of late and now have a one-game lead here on July 20th. In the past week, we broadcast Babe Ruth's Major League debut, which he won in real life, but in this replay, he lost. But in game two, Babe Ruth won, so he's got a record of 1-1. This game, Smokey Joe Woods pitching for the Red Sox, that is not the as-played lineup. I do load the as-played lineups, but I do it like my friend Al Red Sox fan does. I guess the best way to explain it is I guess I do as-played lineups my way. So if there is a player available on my bench who's not on the disabled list and I want to play him, I play him. And today, Smokey Joe Wood will be starting this game. He's 5-6 in the season with a 2.09 ERA. Well, let's go down to the field and see who's playing. There we are. I want to make one small adjustment here under options. Have a little louder crowd noise. Here we have the starting lineups for the Detroit Tigers. Leading off and playing shortstop, Donnie Bush. Batting second at third base, Billy Purtell. Batting third in center field, Harry Heilman. Sam Crawford playing right field, batting fourth. Bobby Veach, left field, batting fifth. Marty Cavanaugh at second base, batting sixth. George Burns playing first base, batting seventh. Oscar Stainage catching and batting eighth. It seems like every catcher in dead ball baseball batted eighth. Have you noticed that, Beatles?
For the most part, yeah, they they tended to be, because you didn't have the prototype of Roy Campanella's, Johnny Bench's, Mickey Cochran yet. So it kind of makes sense that they were lower in the order.
They always batted eighth. We have Hooks Doss, the Detroit pitcher, batting ninth. This season, he is in the replay, 8 wins, 10 losses. He's pitched 167 innings and has a 3.66 ERA. In the field for the Red Sox, as usual, the $1 million outfield, Duffy Lewis in left, Tris Speaker in center, Harry Hooper, who did not start this game, but because he was on the bench, I put him in right field. Speaker and Hooper are members of baseball's Hall of Fame. Gardner at third, Scott at short, Yerkes at second. The recently acquired Dick Hoblitzel at first base for the Red Sox. They've had a lot of injury problems at first base this year. As I move this little label down, Hick Katie catching for the Red Sox, and Smokey Joe Wood, 5-6 on the year. He's a couple of seasons past his famous 34-5 season of 1912. Stepping in is Bush. Wood has the ball, gets his sign from Katie. I need to do one more thing here because I'm broadcasting the game. I don't manage, so we go here and we'll just put Mr. Callahan in. Wood has the sign. And here's the first pitch of the game to Bush. There's a little blooper. Third baseman runs in, picks it up for the out. It was an attempted bunt, but it was popped in the air, and Gardner puts it away, 1 down. Pertell, no home runs, 7 RBIs, batting .216, stepping in. No stolen bases. He's only been up on a limited basis 51 times this year with 11 hits. Woods into his windup. And here's the pitch. There's a fly ball in the center field. Speaker backing up to his left. Under it. Puts it away for the out. 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the first at Fenway Park. The weather in today's game. Sky is clear. Temperature 69 degrees, which is a nice, cool, crisp afternoon here in Boston in July. Wind out left to right, 13 miles an hour. And the attendance at Fenway Park today, 5,996. Wood now facing Heilman. Heilman batting .246, 4 stolen bases, 3 home runs, 6 RBIs, and he's only been up 69 times on the season. Here's the pitch. And he pops it up. Doesn't get very high in the air. The second baseman, Yerkes, puts it away for the out. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the bottom of the first. There's no score. So, Beatles, tell us, you're going to broadcast tomorrow the Field of Dreams games, correct?
Actually, tonight.
Tonight? That's even better.
Yep.
Everybody's really excited about that league, including myself.
Absolutely.
How many are you just going to do? One game? You're going to do more than one tonight?
It depends on the game. Hopefully a doubleheader. Hopefully.
Did you get a chance to watch today's broadcast? I know you were at work.
I saw that MV lost. Yay. And so did I. Boo.
He lost twice, Almost
that's all right.
Almost every sim I did for the season, of course, we were all there simming to see how we do. Your team won that division almost every time.
Yeah, but I think I don't know. We'll see. I made some trades, but I'm building for the future already. So there we go.
You do. Your team. I think your team is a favorite. Anyway, here we go. Bottom of the first. Doss has the ball facing Harry Hooper. Hooper batting .256. 1 home run, 26 runs batted in, 7 stolen bases. I'll tell you why I read the stolen bases off in a minute. And here's the first pitch. And he hits a pop-up to the infield. Shortstop calling everybody off. Puts it away for the out. One down. Bush throws it back to Doss. The reason I read stolen bases out for those people who might be new to my broadcast, when I first started to do dead ball baseball, I went back into the archives to check what the sports pages had to say about these games. And if you went to today's sports page, you'd see the league leaders in home runs, RBIs, batting average. But in 1914, what you saw were the league leaders in runs scored and stolen bases. Not a word about any other statistic. My guess is that's because those were the two most important things in the ninth game of 1914. Everett Scott, who held the record for the most consecutive games until it was broken by Lou Gehrig. Is that correct, Beatles?
That is absolutely correct.
He steps in. He's the shortstop. 1 home run, 11 RBIs, 8 stolen bases. Doss winds and fires. And there's a lazy fly ball in the shallow left field. The left fielder puts it away for the out. Veach throws it in. 2 up, 2 down, bottom of the first. Tris Speaker, probably the best center fielder the Red Sox have ever had. And that's saying something because they've had a lot of good center fielders. 4 home runs, 43 RBIs on the year. He has 22 stolen bases, as you can see on the right side of the screen between Speaker, Lewis, Gardner, and Hoblitzel.
One of the greatest center fielders of all time. I'm just going to add Tris Speaker.
This is a fast Red Sox team. Here's the pitch. And there's a line drive. That ball is going to drop in front of the center fielder for a base hit. Tris Speaker gets the first hit of the game. Red Sox have their first base runner. As Duffy Lewis steps in, no home runs, 33 runs batted in. Duffy Lewis has 26 stolen bases, leading the Red Sox. I'm guessing Tris Speaker is going to attempt to steal second as Doss gets his sign. And here's the pitch. There he is. He's out by a mile. Innings over. At the end of 1, there's no score. Top of the second inning, Sam Crawford, Veach, and Kavanaugh do up. Sam Crawford, 6 home runs, 46 runs batted in, 12 stolen bases. He's certainly one of the best players of his generation, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. No question. No question.
Smokey Joe Wood looks at Crawford. Here's the pitch. It's a bounding ball to second. Yerke's up with it, throws to first, 1 down. Let's check the chat, see who's with us today. Carlos Jazz. SG Jamie has joined us. Buckshot has joined us. Big Clue is here. David Landau. Dwayne Martz is here. Look at this. What a crowd. And we have an active chat. This is terrific. Thank you all for coming by to listen to the broadcast and to listen to our guest color man, Beatles Eternally. Smokey Joe Wood facing Veach. Veach, no home runs, 40 RBIs, 17 stolen bases. Wood winds up. He fires. This ball is line drive down the right field line. That ball is a fair ball. That ball is going to be bouncing around in the corner. Rounding first, Veach on the way to second. And he walks in standing for a double. First hit of the game for Detroit. Detroit has a runner in scoring position. Each team with a hit. Smokey Joe Wood now to face Marty Kavanaugh, who has no home runs. 28 RBIs, 12 stolen bases. Smokey Joe Wood pitches from the right side. Kavanaugh hits from the right side. Checks the runner. Here's the pitch. There's a line drive. That's going to drop in front of the right fielder, Hooper. He picks it up. He's going to throw it in. He's going to hold the runner at third. Great play by the right fielder, Harry Hooper. to hold that runner and keep him from scoring. However, with only one out, runners are on first and third now for Detroit as George Burns steps in batting .291. Homer, 43 RBIs, and he has 13 stolen bases. This is going to be, unless it's a walk or a sacrifice, it will be his 300th at-bat of the season. Wood checks Veach at third, glances at Cavanaugh at first. He's into his windup. Here's the pitch. That ball's going to drop in front of Speaker for a hit. Runner's going to score. Speaker with a great arm holds the runner at second. Detroit scores first. They lead 1-0. No outs, runners on first and second. Stainage, the catcher, stepping in. Home run, 21 runs batted in. No stolen bases, as Beatles said. This is not a fast runner with a lot of power, but let's see what he does. With 2 runners on and only 1 out. Here's Wood's pitch. Pop up to the infield. That's not very high. Runners go back to the bases. That's an out. Scott throws it back to Wood, who will be lucky to get out of this with only 1 run as the pitcher steps in, batting .204. No home runs, no stolen bases. Wood glances back at Cavanaugh. And here's the pitch. And he strikes him out swinging. That's the end of the top of the second. Detroit scores 1 on 3 hits and take the lead 1-0. Excuse me for a second as I take a sip of water here.
So, Dwayne, while Bernie's having a sip of hydrogen and oxygen there, I did not get to see it yet, but I hope to tonight. I got home from work and jumped onto Discord, but I will check it out. I saw that you did it. So, looking forward to watching that, Dwayne.
Ditto here, Dwayne. I'm looking forward to watching it too. Mike Silva checks in. Hi, Mike. How you doing?
Mike Silva!
Here we go on a Saturday evening in the year 2024. Hard to believe it's 2024. But we're doing a game from 1914, and right now Doss has the lead, pitching to Duffy Lewis, followed by Larry Gardner, Dick Hoblitzel. Lewis was at bat when Speaker was thrown out, trying to steal second. Here comes the pitch, and he's going to swing and miss. Strike 3. Larry Gardner stepping in, hitting .239, 3 home runs, 23 stolen bases. Doss winds and fires. There's a ground ball down the first base line. That's in the right field. That's going all the way to the wall. Gardner rounds first, heads for second. Will he try for 3? He stops at second base with a stand-up double. Each team with a stand-up double here in the second inning as Dick Hoblitzel steps in. 267 at-bats this year, a home run, 25 runs batted in, .315 average. Batting from the left side, Doss checks the runner. Here's the pitch. There's a ground ball to second. He throws to first. That ball is in the dirt, can't be scooped up. The runner is going to be safe. The error goes to the second baseman, and the Red Sox are in business. Runners on first and third with only 1 away here in the bottom of the second. Steve Yerke stepping in, batting an even .200. He's brought that average up. He was mired in the mid-100s for most of the season. 2 home runs. A good statistic, 38 RBIs from the 7th position. That's pretty damn good. However, only 6 stolen bases. He is not fleet of foot. Doss checks the runner. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to first. Over to second for 1. He's going to hold on to it. No attempt on the double play. Gardner scores. The game's all tied at 1. Yerke's at first. 2 away now. Hick Cady stepping in. He's the Red Sox second string catcher. No home runs, 8 runs batted in. No stolen bases, as is the tradition with dead ball catchers. Here's the pitch. There's a ground ball to second. He's not going to even attempt to throw it. That's going to be an infield hit, according to the official scorer. It looked like he bobbled it for an error on the screen, but the official scorer gives Cady a hit. Runners will be on first and second, 2 away. Smokey Joe Wood steps up to the plate.
There was a catcher that was a standout that was actually ran against the grain, who could steal bases, and that was Ray Schock. And I think we featured him at one point or another. But Schock was we think of catchers now, right, as not very, very fast. Schock was one of the exceptions to the rule. But you're right. Catchers were mainly there as big blocks of granite who, right, the focus was defense. But once you started seeing, Mickey Cochran and later Campanella and Johnny Bench, kind of the way Hannes Wagner redefined shortstop, those guys redefined catcher. But good call on dead ball catchers there, Bernie.
We had Schock on here last week, I think, or the week before.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was the last game we did together.
Mm-hmm.
And he held the stolen base record for catches for 50 years or something.
Yeah. So I disagree with you, Big Clue. Schock was a superb defensive catcher and deserves to be in there. But we'll do another stream sometime. You and I will have a debate because we don't want to take up Bernie's broadcast.
Oh, listen, you're here because people love listening to you, including me.
Big Clue doesn't.
Well,
Big
maybe
Clue
not
doesn't.
Big Clue, but everybody else does.
Oh, I have the right to be wrong. Okay. All right. Bite me, Clue. You knew it was coming.
Oh, I love this. See, Clue doesn't know me well enough to talk to me like that, but he knows you well enough. So
yeah,
my chat is going to be more interesting tonight than usual. Doss is going to face Smokey Joe Wood, who's a good hitter, but in this season, he's only got 1 hit at 28 at-bats. Who knows why that is, but that's the way it is. Erkey's at second, Cady at first. Doss checks the runners. Here's the pitch. That's a strikeout. We go to the top of the third. We're tied at 1.
Oh, I'm telling you what, Big Clue. So I would agree that Bernie is a gentleman, indeed. But I wonder how you would even recognize a gentleman. I know the company you keep there, you Reds fans. Don't even get me started, Big Clue, because I'm already upset at Dwayne. I'll get upset at you, too.
You guys are having great fun. If you are just joining us, this stadium of Fenway Park, I believe, was done by Mike Silva, who is in the chat tonight, hopefully still watching the game. This is a beautiful rendition of the 19-teens version of Fenway Park. Here in the top of the third, the top of the order for the Tigers, Bush.
Big Clue, you say you never claimed to be a lady. What I've heard is you look great in stilettos. At least MV told me. So I don't know. Hey.
I'm not even going to call the game. I'm just going to listen to you two.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bernie. I just couldn't resist.
Here's Wood's pitch. Bounding ball to first. Blitzel up with it. Steps on the bag. 1 up, 1 down here, top of the third. Pertel. No home runs, 7 runs batted in, no stolen bases. And here's Wood's pitch. There's a fly ball in the right center field. Speaker coming in. He dives, he catches it, and takes a base hit away from Pertel. We're going to watch that. We're going to watch that play again.
The Gray Eagle, one of the greatest of all time.
What a great play. Here we go. Boy, do I love the animation in Out of the Park baseball.
So do I. So do I.
Here we go. 2 down, top of the third. Harry Heilman up, 3 home runs, 6 runs batted in. 3 home runs and only 70 at-bats. He's got some power. And Wood is into the windup. Here's the pitch. There's a ground ball to short. Scott up with it over to first. That's the out. That's the inning. We go to the bottom of the third, still tied at 1. Here in the third inning, Hooper, Scott, and Speaker due up. Hooper, who was not in the original as-played lineup, I put him in because he was on the bench batting .255.
So
Home
Carlos, Big Clue looks a lot better in an Empire waist because Carlos is asking here if is cross-dressing a bet between Clue and MV. So MV, right? You know, he's a little bit more, but Big Clue in the Empire waist and the stilettos. Oh, I'm telling you, MV showed me the photos. What can I say?
I'm surprised MV's not here. I would think that he wouldn't have been able to sleep tonight after starting the Field of Dreams season 0 for 2.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Somebody's going to get a baseball game, I'm telling you, or something.
And there's a bunt attempt by Hooper. Not very good as the pitcher picks it up, throws to first for the out. Everett Scott, home run, 11 runs batted in, 8 stolen bases.
Oh, Clue, them's fighting words.
The windup. And that is a fly out to center field. Heilman throws the ball in as the organist here at Fenway Park, but I don't think they had an organ in 1914. But this organist tries to get the crowd going as Speaker steps in. Speaker is 1 for 1 on today's game. He was thrown out trying to steal second in the first inning. .316 hitter, 22 stolen bases. Here's the pitch. Ball 4. Well, what do you think, Beatles? Is he going to steal? There's 2 outs. I think he's going to go for it. I'm not sure how Duffy Lewis is going to like Tris Speaker running both times, but
Tris Speaker's going to do what Tris Speaker wants.
I think you're right. Doss checks Speaker at first. He's into his windup. Speaker stays put. Ground ball to third. Over to first. The inning's over. We go to the top of the fourth. There's a tie game today. Detroit has 1 run, 3 hits, 1 error. The Red Sox 1 run, 3 hits, no errors. Crawford, Veach, and Kavanaugh due up. Crawford 0 for 1 on the day, hitting .281. Here's Wood's pitch. There is a ground ball just past the outreach of Wood, but the shortstop, Scott, picks it up, puts it in his pocket. No one's going to touch the speedy Sam Crawford at first base on that kind of hit. And the Tigers have the lead runner on with Bobby Veach stepping in. He's 1 for 1 on the day, an even .300 average. Well, Crawford may run, Veach may bunt. Let's find out. Woods into his windup. Here's the pitch. Check swing. There goes Crawford. There is no throw. He's one fast runner. Crawford, let me see what we got. Well, we can look over here. That's Crawford's 13th stolen base, if that's been updated. Crawford on second. Nobody out. He represents the go-ahead run for the Tigers. Wood throws. Ball 4. The Tigers now in business with runners on first and second, nobody out. The number 6 hitter, Kavanaugh, up. He's also 1 for 1. He's got 1 of the 4 hits today, 28 runs batted in, 12 stolen bases. Wood checks both runners. Here's the pitch. There's a sacrifice attempt to first. Over the Yerkes covering the bag. Runners advance to second and third. Tigers have 1 out, 2 runners in scoring position. George Burns, the first baseman for the Tigers, steps up batting 293.
As Gracie watches from the grandstands.
Well, you know, I was thinking of something clever to say. I was going to say, this is not the George Burns we all know. Runners on second and third. Crawford takes his lead. The one thing I haven't seen yet in my dead ball seasons and year and a half of broadcasting is I have not seen a steal of home plate. I expect to see one of these days.
You will. You will.
Here's the pitch. There's a pop-up into center field. That's going to drop for a hit. That's going to score both runs. And that single puts the Tigers ahead 3-1. That ball dropped in front of Speaker. There was nothing he could do about it. Smokey Joe Wood, my choice for starters, now is losing 3-1. Burns at first. Oscar Stainage at the plate. One away. The runner is going. The throw down will not be in time, and there is a stolen base. Burns at second. One down. He's in scoring position. Tigers looking for their fourth run of the game. Smokey Joe Wood checks the runner. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to first. Blitzel flips it to Wood for the out. Runner goes to third. Two away. Runner 90 feet from home plate. Why that's so important, why that out was productive, because Burns can now score on a pass ball, wild pitch. An error. From second, he couldn't do that. Smokey Joe Wood checks Burns at third. Here's the pitch. And there is another fly ball to center field. Speaker's a busy guy today, puts it away for the out. We go to the top of the fifth. Detroit scores 2 on 2 hits and now take a 3-1 lead. Beatles, have you figured out who we're going to do our reading on tonight?
Indeed, I have. So it will be shortstop Donnie Bush.
We're going to do that right after this half inning. Doss has pitched 3 innings, allowed 3 hits, no runs, struck out 2, walked 1. He will face Gardner, Blitzel, and Yerkes. Gardner stepping in. 1 for 1 on the day. Here's the pitch by Doss. Is it Doss or Douse? I don't know. There's an attempted bunt, but he pulled it back. 2 balls, no strikes on Gardner. Here's the pitch. He walks him. Gardner's trotting down to first base as the Red Sox have the lead runner on here in the bottom of the 4th. Dick Blitzel, 0 for 1 on the day. Home run, 25 runs batted in, 16 stolen bases. Doss checks the runner and throws. There's a sacrifice bunt attempt. 1-3, he gets him. Runner goes to second. Once again, the animation looked like he could have thrown to second, but he chose to take the safe way and throw out the the batter, and let the runner Gardner go to second. He's in scoring position. Yerkes steps up, 0 for 1 on the day. His average drops to just under 200. Doss checks the runner. Here's the pitch. It's a ground ball to third. He's over to first for the out. 2 down. Gardner advances to third. As Katie used 1 for 1 on the day, had an infield hit his first time up. He's batting .204 with no stolen bases. A base hit now would bring the Red Sox closer to the Tigers. Here's the pitch. And there is a fly ball to center field. Center fielders have been busy today. He comes in on it, puts it away for the out. We go to the top of the 5th inning. Beatles is going to do the reading on our shortstop for the Tigers. And that is Donnie Bush. I'll put his figures on the screen for you. There it is.
All right. So Owen Joseph Bush. He was born On the 8th of October, 1887, Indianapolis, Indiana. Died 28th March, 1972 in Indianapolis. Made his major league debut on September 18th, 1908 with the Tigers. He was a switch hitter and threw right. Really diminutive guy, too. 5 feet 6 inches tall, 140 pounds. So, Donnie Bush spent 65 years in organized baseball as a player, manager, scout, and owner. He had just a 6th grade education, but he was brilliant by baseball standards. He used his keen knowledge of the strike zone to lead the American League in walks in 5 of his first 6 full professional seasons. With Hall of Famers Ty Cobb and Sam Crawford, and later Harry Heilman, batting behind him, Bush scored 90 or more runs in 8 of his first 9 full seasons. Bush led the American League with 112 runs in 1917. A skillful base stealer, he finished his career with 404 stolen bases. Although he had an excellent career as a player, Bush is probably best remembered as a manager. He took over the Washington Senators as a player-manager in 1923. The Senators finished with 75 wins and 78 losses, and he was not retained. Bush received another chance to manage in 1927. He led the Pittsburgh Pirates to the World Series in his first season with the club, but the New York Yankees and the Murderers Row swept the Pirates. The disciplinarian Bush benched star outfielder Kai Kyler for the entire series because of a previous altercation. Kyler was traded to the Chicago Cubs following the sweep. The Pirates finished the 1928 season in 4th place. Bush was fired 119 games into the next season. He took over the lowly Chicago White Sox in 1930, but 2 consecutive finishes in the 2nd division led to another firing. He guided the Cincinnati Reds to last place in 1933. It was his final major league managerial post. Bush continued to manage in AAA. He became part owner of the Indianapolis Indians and later the Minneapolis Millers. The lifelong bachelor remained close to the game by scouting for the Boston Red Sox in his later years. He was working with the White Sox when he died at age 84. So lifetime stats for him: 1,946 games, 7,210 at-bats, 1,280 runs scored, 1,804 hits, 9 home runs, 436 runs batted in, an OBP of .356, slugging average of .300, and a batting average of .250. And just I'm going to drop a little bit of trivia in here just because he deserved it. So, who is the all-time leader among Detroit Tiger pitchers in wins? You will be surprised. It's the man pitching on the mound right now for the Tigers, Hooks Dowse. He is the all-time wins leader for the Tigers. So there you go. There's my little reading and trivia for you.
Well, thank you very much. That's my favorite part of the broadcast.
I like when you call the game. So there we go.
We're a good team. Top of the 5th inning, Bush, Pertell, and Heilman. Speaking of Donnie Bush, a mediocre Joe Wood today is allowed 5 hits in 4 innings, 3 earned runs, only struck out 1.
If I may, Bernie,
yes.
Welcome Joe Murdy to the Fields of Dreams League. Yeah, the newest owner. He's in the chat with us.
Hello, Joe. I'm glad you joined us. You're going to really enjoy this Field of Dreams League. We've only had 1 broadcast, 3 games, and it is a lot of fun. 1 up, 1 down here in the top of the 5th. Pertell up. Billy is 0 for 2 today, batting .208 in a part-time role. Smokey Joe Wood winds and fires, and he strikes him out. He has his 2nd strikeout of the game. 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the 5th. Wood to face Harry Heilman, .239 hitter. 4 stolen bases, 3 home runs, and only 71 at-bats. And here's the pitch. And he checks his swing. Ball 4. Heilman walks. Runner on first with 2 outs for the Tigers. Sam Crawford, undoubtedly the best player on the field today for Detroit now that Ty Cobb is injured. He's batting .283. He's 1 for 2 on the day. Wood checks the runner. He's into his windup. That ball is right in front of the mound. That ball fired to first for the out as my computer hesitated for a second. That's the end of the top of the fifth as the Red Sox trail 3-1. Here we go to the bottom of the fifth inning. Here in the bottom of the fifth inning, before we go any farther, let's see what we have in the out-of-town scoreboard. The Braves leading Pittsburgh 1-0 after 6. The White Sox leading the A's after 5. Phillies leading the Cubs 2-0 in the first inning. Brooklyn losing to St. Louis. The Browns and the Yankees have yet to start. Senators and the Indians 1-1 in the fifth. Giants 2-0 over the Reds. And I think that's it. That's a good score for the Red Sox. If the Red Sox could come back and win this game, they'll be tied for first place. Of course, Philadelphia is going to have to lose that game for that to happen. Douse stepping on the rubber, facing Smokey Joe Wood, his counterpart. Here's the pitch. And there's a line drive, right field. That ball is going to drop in front of the right fielder for a hit. Smokey Joe Wood gets his second hit of the season. If I'm not mistaken, Smokey Joe Wood hurt his arm, and that's part of why he hasn't pitched much this year. He eventually, in the 1920s, Beetle, doesn't he become an outfielder for the Cleveland Indians?
Yes, he does.
That's how good a hitter he was, but he's not hitting that well this year for the Red Sox. As we go to the top of the order, Hall of Famer Harry Hooper with a home run, 26 runs batted in, 7 stolen bases, hitting from the left side. Wood takes his lead from first, and here's the pitch. There's a ground ball to first baseman to short for 1, back to first, a 3-6-3 double play. 2 quick outs for the Red Sox, and a potentially good inning is now 2 outs, nobody on, with Everett Scott stepping in. Everett Scott 0 for 2 on the day, 212 on the year, 8 stolen bases. Here's Douse's pitch. And there is a fly ball into left field. Duffy Lewis to his right puts it away, going towards the line, and we go to the top of the 6th inning, 3-1 Tigers. Here in the top of the 6th, we have Veach, Cavanaugh, and Burns due up. Veach 1 for 1 on the day, hitting an even 300. Here's Wood's pitch. There's a line drive into right field that drops in front of Hooper for a base hit. Tigers have the lead runner on. Hooper throws it in. Cavanaugh steps into the batter's box. Veach on first. Wood talking to himself because he doesn't believe he's allowed 6 hits in 5 innings. Marty Cavanaugh 1 for 1 today, 259 on the season, 12 stolen bases. Wood checks the runner. There's the sacrifice attempt in front of the plate. Throws to first for the out. It was successful. Veach goes to second. Represents run number 4 for the Tigers. If Burns can do something here, there's only 1 out. Burns, the first baseman, 2 for 2 on the day, 296 on the year. 14 stolen bases. Wood's into his windup. Going to third is the runner. He is out. He's caught stealing third. All of a sudden, the runner is no longer in scoring position. He's on the bench for the Tigers. Burns is up, and he has no opportunity to knock in the run. Here's the pitch. And he's going to walk him. Ball 4. That's Wood's 3rd walk of the game.
Smokey Joe not looking too sharp tonight, Bernie.
Well, he did not have a good year in 1914. And maybe I shouldn't have put him in, but For the season, he's pitched 91 innings, allowed 76 hits. That's not a bad record.
Not bad. Had he not slipped and hurt his pitching hand, I think he would have been a Hall of Fame pitcher. Again, had the endorsement Walter Johnson said nobody throws harder than Smokey Joe Wood, that's a heck of an endorsement. And that season. But again, as you said, he went on to reinvent himself as a very good baseball player, good hitter.
He never did recover as a pitcher after this season.
Never did. No, it's a shame. And it was just, and just the goofiest of things, right? Just slipping on some wet grass, and that was enough that he never could. But that season, I think one of the greatest in baseball. And, it's one of those what ifs, right?
Oh, there's all sorts of them in baseball.
Absolutely.
The one I'll go to my grave remembering is the night Tony Caniglaro was hit in the head at Fenway Park.
You were there.
I was sitting in the bleachers. I could hear the ball hit his head, and I was 500 feet from home plate.
That's
unbelievable. Anyway, Wood now checks Burns at first. We don't want this game to last all night because I want to get to your games after this. Stainage up 0 for 2. Here's the pitch by Wood. There goes the runner. Well, that's obvious. He's out. And the inning is over. We go to the bottom of the 6th, 3-1 Detroit.
Joe Murdy's mentioning Sam Crawford. I can't wait until Sam Crawford enters. I don't think he's in the Fields of Dreams League yet. And if he is, whoever has him, hold on to him. Dangerous hitter.
Beatles, did I notice that you're intentionally trying to trade for dead ball players?
There's been a little bit of a pattern there, hasn't there?
That's what I thought. Anyway, well, you know them so well. That's the
a few of them owe me $20, but anyhow.
It's going to be a fun season for the Field of Dreams.
Will.
In the meantime, Speaker steps in, followed by Lewis and Gardner here in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Red Sox need to get something going if they expect to do anything tonight. Is Dawson's pitch to Speaker. Speaker hits a ground ball to second. Up with it over to first for the out. Kavanaugh makes a great play there at second base. One down, Duffy Lewis, who's got the famous Duffy's Cliff named after him. You can't see it here in left field, but along the left field wall in Fenway Park was a little cliff that you had to run up when the ball got near the fence.
Yeah, I wonder if that was a thing in early ballparks, because Ebbets also had a slight little cliff. Crosley, it's interesting that those were there. And for what reason, right?
Who knows? They made a comeback. Isn't there one in Houston?
I think so. I'm not sure. I don't like the Astros, so I couldn't tell you.
I think there's one in Houston's ballpark. And quite frankly, since they started naming parks after corporations, I've forgotten the names of all of them.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, Duffy Lewis hitting .251, 0 for 2 on the day. Here's the pitch. And there's a little pop-up in a foul territory. I don't know if the ball could actually do what the screen shows it doing, but he is out. 2 down. Bottom of the 6th. The Red Sox, if they're going to do something, better start pretty soon. Is Larry Gardner stepping in. 1 for 1 on the day. 242 on the season. Here's the pitch. There's a ground ball up the middle. That's going to die in the infield. He's going to pick it up. Gardner is going to be at first base with an infield hit. Red Sox have a runner on with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Blitz will do up 0 for 1, 313 on the season. Checks the runner at first. Here's the pitch. There is a fly ball in the left field. In comes the left fielder to put it away for the out. We go to the top of the 7th. Still 3-1 Tigers. Top of the 7th, we have hitters 8, 9, and 10 up for the Tigers. Stainage, Doss, and Donnie Bush. Wood has his sign. He winds. He fires. There is a ground ball to short. Scott up with it. To first for the out. One up, one down. Pitcher stepping in. Batting 196. 11 hits and 56 at-bats with 6 RBIs. He's 0 for 2 on the day at the plate. Here's Wood's pitch. And he strikes out swinging. 2 up, 2 down, top of the 7th. Top of the order, Donnie Bush, 0 for 3, batting 226. Wood has the sign. Here's the pitch. And he checks his swing, ball 4. Wood's going to walk to first. Walk number 4 for Smokey Joe Wood.
Let's see what our player of note can do here. I know you don't want him to do anything, Bernie, but let's see.
Well, he's got 18 stolen bases on the season. If I were managing the Tigers with 2 outs, I'd send him. What do you think?
Why not? That's good dead ball tactic, right? Station to station baseball, or at least maybe a hit and run.
Could be.
Why not?
And here's Wood's pitch. He stays put. There's a ground ball to short. He's up with it. Tosses the second for the out. We go to the bottom of the 7th. I don't know why they don't do that whole song, but it's over as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Bottom third of the Red Sox order, Yerkes, Katie, and Wood due up. Red Sox running out of time as Doss has pitched 6 innings, 5 hits, no earned runs. 2 strikeouts, 2 walks. He's pitching a great game. And here's his pitch. There is a fly ball to center field. The center fielder doesn't have to move. He puts it away for the out. Heilman throws it in. 1 up, 1 down. Katie, 1 for 2 on the day. If he doesn't walk, this will be his 100th at-bat of the season. And here's the pitch. Of course, I didn't think he was going to get hit by the pitch, so it is not his 100th official at-bat of the season as he trots to first base after he was hit by that pitch. Smokey Joe Wood singled his last time up. Katie at first, no speed. Here's the pitch. There's the bunt. Catcher up with it, throws to first for the out. Katie goes to second. Harry Hooper stepping in. Red Sox fans in the stadium hope he can knock in the second run of the game and put them a little closer to the Tigers. Hooper 0 for 3 on the day, 253 on the season. 7 stolen bases. Here's the pitch. There's a fly ball in the right center field. Played perfectly by the right fielder. He is out. Go to the top of the 8th. Tigers still lead 3-1. In typical dead ball fashion, we have a close game. Heilman, Crawford, Veach due up. Heilman 0 for 2 on the day, 239 on the season. Wood still in there. Here's the pitch. There's a bunt attempt. Wood up with it, throws to first. It was unsuccessful. Batters out 1-3, 1 down. Sam Crawford 1 for 3 on the day, 283 on the season. Wood is into his windup. Here's the pitch. That's the fly ball into left center field. Speaker moving to his right. Puts it away easily for the out. 2 up, 2 down. Veach stepping in. Bobby Veach 2 for 2 on the day, 303 on the season. Wood has his sign. He's into his windup. There's a bunt to the right of the pitcher's mound. Wood grabs it, throws to first. He's not going to be in time. That is a base hit. A bunt single. Bobby Veach now. As I hover over that. Batting .305. He's raised his average. Veach takes his lead at first. 2 down. Kavanaugh up, but 1 for 1 on the season, on the day. 259 on the season. Wood checks the runner. He's into his windup. Here's the pitch. And there is a base hit. Rounding second is Veach on his way to third. The throw comes in. He slides. The throw is too late. And the Tigers, with 2 outs, are in business with runners on first and third. With George Burns, the other George Burns, stepping in, who's 2 for 2 today, 296 on the season. Kavanaugh has 12 stolen bases. There is a chance he's going to go on the first pitch. We have a change on the mound. Bedient is in. He's 8-4 in the season, a 2.50 ERA. He started 9 games. He's pitched in 22. And he replaces Smokey Joe Wood, who's taken out in the 8th inning. Bedient gets the sign, checks the runners. Here's the pitch. There's a grounder to third. Gardner's up with it. He throws to second for the force play, gets the out. We go to the bottom of the 8th, still a 3-1 score. We have 6 outs for the Red Sox to do something here. We're going to have a pinch hitter. Hendrickson, the Red Sox #1 pinch hitter, coming up to bat for Everett Scott. Hendrickson's 234, no home runs, 6 RBIs, 3 stolen bases. He's going to be followed by Speaker and Lewis. Here's Douse's pitch. There's the swing. He makes contact. That ball's into center field. Center fielder under it, puts it away for the out. 1 away. Tris Speaker, 1 for 2. 315 on the season. If anybody needed to get him going, it would be Speaker as Douse winds. And here's the pitch. And there is another fly ball to center field. We've had a lot of fly balls to center field tonight. He is out. 2 up, 2 down. Heilman throws the ball back in. The Red Sox down to the last 4 outs as Duffy Lewis steps in 0 for 3 on the day. And even 250 on the year. Here's the pitch from Douse. And right on cue, there's another fly ball into center field. Heilman to his right puts it away as he's running towards the dugout. We go to the top of the 9th, 3-1 Tigers. Just out of curiosity, since we're in the 9th inning, I want to know what that Philadelphia score is. 8th inning, White Sox lead the A's 6-2.
No one gaining ground on this one, huh?
It doesn't look like the Red Sox are going to get to first place, but at least they're only going to be 1 game back when the game is over. Bedient to face Stainage, Douse, and Bush. Here's Bedient's pitch. There's the swing. There's a routine fly to left. Duffy Lewis coming in, puts it away for the out. 1 away. Top of the 9th, the pitcher. Hooks Douse stepping in. 0 for 3 on the day, a 193 hitter. Bedient into his windup. There's a line drive in the right field. He swung late, but he got the ball, and it's a base hit. Douse rounds first, heads back to the bag. He represents an insurance run for the Tigers at first. Donnie Bush, 0 for 3 on the day, 226 on the season. Bedient checks Douse at first. Here's the pitch. Swings away. That ball is lined into left center field. Speaker is going to take it on a hop. He's going to get it in, but the speedy Bush is going to make it to second. The runner's coming home, and the runner is going to score, and that's going to be either a double and a going to third on the throw. That's a double. He goes to third on the throw, home, and the score is now 4-1 Tigers. Doesn't look good for the Red Sox. Bedient now has Bush, a speedy runner on third with less than 2 outs. We have a pinch hitter, Yu Hai, quite a name. He is batting 184, 11 RBIs, 3 stolen bases. Infield in, the pitch. And as I pop up to the infield, Yerkes has got to move back quickly because he was playing in, puts it away. Runner will not advance. 2 down. Bush still at third, represents the 5th run as Harry Heilman steps in 0 for 3. Bedient into his windup. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to second. Yerkes up with it. Over to first. We go to the bottom of the ninth. Tigers now leading 4-1.
Rally Red Sox. Let's go.
Well, the good news is if they lose, they don't lose ground to the A's. They remain 1 game back. Here in the bottom of the ninth, Gardner, Blitzel, and Yerkes due up. Doss on the verge of pitching a complete game victory for the Tigers. Here's the pitch. There's a ground ball to second. He boots the ball. He picks it up, puts it in his pocket. The lead runner is on for the Red Sox as the Tigers commit their second error of the game. Cavanaugh throws it back to the mound. Dickel Blitzel stepping in 0 for 2 today. Red Sox only have 5 hits. Tigers have doubled them up. They have 10 hits on the day. Gardner at first takes his lead. Here's the pitch. There's a ground ball to second. Short for 1. He's going to hold on to it. Forced play at second. Sox down to their last 2 outs. We have another pinch hitter. Bill Kerrigan, the manager of the team, says, "To hell with my catcher, I'm going to hit." Stepping in, batting a lowly 208. No home runs, 16 RBIs, and as we said earlier, he's a catcher. He has no stolen bases. Well, Blitzel takes his lead. Here's the pitch. And he walks him. He didn't have to hit. Runners on first and second. Well, believe it or not, Katie stepping up. He represents the tying run. He is 1 for 2 today. He was hit by a pitch his last time up. Let's see what happens. Here's the pitch. There's a base hit in the center field. Red Sox, the runners are going to hold at third. The Red Sox have the bases loaded. 1 away. We have a pitch hitter, Del Gaynor, stepping in. Dell is 10 for 47 on the year, no home runs, 6 RBIs. He has no stolen bases. He has an opportunity to knock in a run or 2 here for the Red Sox. Bases loaded, a Blitzel at third, Kerrigan at second, Katie at first. Here's the pitch by Doss. And that's a ball 4. It's now 4-2. I don't know, Beatles. This has the makings of a pretty good finish.
Yes, it does. Let's go Red Sox.
Bases still full as Harry Hooper steps up. I guess if you're going to have the bases full, 2 runs down, only 1 out, you'd want a Hall of Famer up. Kerrigan at third, Katie at second, Gaynor at first. Detroit still going with their pitcher. He's into the windup. Here's the pitch. There is a fly ball to right center field. Center field is under it. He's got it. They're not going to take the chance. The runner's going to hold at third.
That was huge. Huge out. Ugh.
Janvrin stepping in. Tris Speaker on deck. That was a huge out, but this one's even bigger because if they don't get him, they got to face Tris Speaker. 8 2/3 innings for Hooks. 6 hits, no earned runs, 2 strikeouts, 4 walks. Kerrigan, Katie, and Gaynor on the bases. Here's the windup in the pitch. There's a ground ball to short, picks it up, gets the force at second. The ball game is over. The Tigers come out to greet the pitcher. The game is over. The Red Sox are defeated by the Detroit Tigers 4-2. Tigers 4 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors. Red Sox 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors. They leave the bases loaded in the bottom of the 9th. And we go to this limited edition of Out of the Park Baseball's AI. The Red Sox lose to the Tigers 4-2 behind an impressive start by Hooks Douse. Detroit beat Boston 4-2. Detroit record now stands at 40-47, placing them 6th in the American League. George Burns, the 21-year-old first baseman, had a direct impact on the outcome. Burns contributed a 2-run single in the top of the 4th inning to put the Tigers up 3-1. Doss called the win a collective effort. As we glance at the box score, Detroit, Detroit, Veach went 3 for 3, 2 for 2 for Kavanaugh. George Burns 2 for 3, and hitters 6, 7, and 8 did most of the damage. Over on the Red Sox side, Gardner was 2 for 3, Katie was 2 for 3, but not much else from anybody else. Smokey Joe Wood, the losing pitcher, he's now 5-7, pitched 7 2/3, 8 hits, 3 runs, all earned, striking out 3, walking 4. Doss with a complete game victory is now 9-10, 9 innings pitched, 6 hits, 2 runs, none of them earned, 2 strikeouts, and 4 walks. Doug Hunt, I just noticed you. If you were in earlier, Doug, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Well, Beatles, what'd you think of that game?
Tough. It was a tough loss. I was hoping to see the Red Sox at least gain a half game on the Athletics. But good showing in the 9th inning. But, I think had Tris Speaker gotten to bat, I really think that the Red Sox could have pulled this one out. Doss was looking like he was about good for that one more batter, and he got that one batter, unfortunately.
It's interesting. We've had 2 or 3 walk-offs, victories for the Red Sox in this season on my broadcast. I thought we were going to have another one, but we didn't. As we go to the rest of today's games, I'm going to do it a little quicker so we can get off and you can get on to your broadcast. I'm just going to hit finish today, and we'll go to the scores. I got to go back to the 20th. In the American League, as you just saw, the Tigers defeated the Red Sox 4-2. The St. Louis Browns defeated the New York Yankees 4-3, 4-11-3 for the Browns, 3-6-2 for the Yankees. Willman the winner, 6-11. Keating the loser, 5-11. Home run in that game. Austin is second home run for the Browns. The White Sox defeated the Philadelphia A's 8-3, 8-13-3 for the White Sox, 3-6-1 for the A's. The Red Sox do not lose any ground to the first place A's. Scott the winner, 7-9. Shockey the loser, he is now 10-3. Cleveland at the Senators. Senators win 9-7, 9-11-4, 7-10-2 for Cleveland. Walter Johnson, the winner. He's now 14-10.
The big train. That's right. The big train.
12-11. He's pitched a couple of great games against the Red Sox on this channel this year. Browns had a second game at Yankee Stadium, and they defeated the Yankees for a doubleheader sweep. 3-8-2 for the Browns in the nightcap. 1-6-1 for the Yankees.
Go
Mitch
Brownies.
now 1-6. You know, they were there in St. Louis a long time.
Yes, they were.
They had quite a history. It's sort of a shame they had to move, but
there's a great documentary about the St. Louis Browns that you can find on YouTube. It's really good.
Maybe I'll check that out after your game tonight. Cole, the loser, he's 1-4. Over in the National League, the Giants defeat the Reds 4-2, 4-9-2 for the Giants. 2-7-1 for the Reds. The Giants have a gigantic lead in the National League. Tesreau, he's only 18-5 for the Giants.
Tesreau was a tough pitcher. Tough pitcher.
He is this season, a 1.85 ERA. The loser is now 1-3. The Boston Braves defeated the Pittsburgh Pirates. Sorry about that, Beatles. 2-0, 2-7-0, 0-4-0. No errors in that game. Whaling had a home run for the Braves. Tyler is now 7-10 for the Braves. Cooper 8-9 for the Pirates. Phillies defeated the Cubs 14-9, 14-4. That's more like dead ball. Cubs 9-10-5, 9 errors in that game. And look at all the home runs. 3 home runs in a game. Becker is 5th. Maggie his 5th. Schulte his 2nd. Winning pitcher Mayer 9-10. Humphreys the loser 4-8. And for our final game of the day, the Robins defeated the Cardinals in the Bird game 7-5, 11-0. For Brooklyn, 5-16-2 for the Cardinals. 2 home runs in that game. Brooklyn had them both. Kutcher's 2nd, Myers his 1st, and Robeck the winner 9-8. The loser Salty, he is 10-10. As we quickly go to the Major League standings, there they are. The Red Sox 1 game back of the A's. White Sox in Cleveland 8 games back of the Red Sox. The Tigers are 13.5 back there out of it anyway, but they were the spoilers today. There's the 14-game lead by the Giants.
Oof.
I do want you to notice that
the Braves have moved up. I was going to say that.
This is the first time I've seen the Braves out of 7th place. They are now on a 4-game winning streak, which the Giants aren't cooperating because they got a 3-game winning streak. And they're 8-2, so they've actually lost a game and games behind, but they are moving up. They are 38-42. Wouldn't that be something if they did it in this game the way
that would be amazing, right? Oh my God, the Miracle Braves doing it in out of park baseball. That would be awesome.
Well, that's it from here. I want to thank everybody for coming in, but Beatles, before I give my thanks to the viewers, I want to thank you for joining me. You've been a real asset to my broadcast. I really enjoy doing them with you.
It's fun, man. Thank you.
And I hope you consider doing more of them in the future.
Sure would. Thank you. I'm honored, man. Thank you.
I'd like to thank Big Clue, SGJ Jamie, Doug Hunt, David Landau, Buckshot, Joe Murdy. Welcome to our Field of Dreams League. Am I missing anybody here? Carlos Yaz was in here earlier tonight. And
Carlos Yaz's team will be playing tonight.
Oh, that'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, I've got his lineup set.
Dwayne, I hope you're still here. It's been always nice having you on the broadcast. You're one of my favorite guys to watch online. Don't forget to get to Dwayne's channel.
Dwayne Mars.
Dwayne, he makes those games exciting.
Yeah, he's anyhow. Yeah, he's all right.
Mike Silva, thank you for coming by. Do I have everybody? I don't want to miss anybody. Slash Deep Gaming was in earlier tonight. And this was a long chat. Everybody did a good job. Anyway,
Dwayne, you know I love you, you bum.
Anyway, I want to thank you, Beatles, again for coming by.
Thank you, Bernie.
And I want to thank everybody else. I want to thank everybody else here for coming by. And it's a nice Saturday evening. I hope you have had a wonderful day, and I hope the rest of your weekend is going to be enjoyable. And now we're going to sign off, and we're going to get off to Beatles Field of Dreams broadcast. I want to thank you very much for coming by. I got to hit a couple of buttons here to say goodbye. And there we are. Have a nice evening, everybody.